Is that when you got into the fitness? Like you're known for just crazy fitness, diet, all that stuff. Is it the wrestlers that like got you into that, or was it before that?
It was before that. It was, let's see, it was my sophomore year, so my redshirt freshman year. The second semester, I was having back issues kind of out of nowhere. Like I'd have some lower left back issue, and like I felt it only hitting drivers, and then it got to a point where I was hitting wedges and it was still hurt. So went in MRI, and there was they call it a pars fracture, which is pretty much a stress fracture in my L5. Um, Not exactly sure what caused it, but ever since that day, I'm like, this sucks. I don't ever want to be hurt again. So I transformed my eating, fitness since, what would that have been? That would have been 2010, 2011. So going on 12, 13 years of strictly doing everything I can to make my body move and feel the best it can.
Well, take us through this diet because, in a day where a lot of people have nutrition bars, peanut butter and jellies on the course, like I know you make for the most part, make all your own food for even on the golf course, but what's your diet like?
Yeah, so I work with a guy in Encinitas. His name is Robert Yang, and I found him because I was kind of at first I was researching it on my own, and nowadays like you look on the internet and you type in one thing and Monday this comes up and you type in the next thing on Tuesday and it's something else that contradicts it. So I mean it got to a point where I was only eating like a very, very limited style of foods. I mean, very repetitive. I was like, this isn't quite, I don't believe this is like the right way to go. So I reached out to Rob, and his philosophy is very simple. Pretty much protein, fat, and fiber. So protein in the form of animal, like every animal I will eat, best quality. So grass fed, finished cows, pasture raised chicken, wild fish. Y'all kind of get the point. And then fruits, vegetables, and then all the carbs that I eat are kind of around my workout: white rice, sweet potatoes, and then it's just all it's as clean as possible. I mean, organic, local farms. I have some here in Dallas that I'll pick up and stuff like that. And it's been incredible. And then just kind of as the years have gone on, I've just fine tuned it a little bit. So I'd say the last 2 to 3 years, I've only stayed in Airbnbs so I could cook my own food, so I can kind of control everything that goes into it. Like I won't eat anything that's cooked in vegetable oil or canola oil or anything like that. So bacon fat, grass-fed butter, beef tallow, or kind of low heat, I'll use olive oil. So that's kind of the premise of how I eat.
Like
Dang.
us. Well, like
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean? Where does Red Bull
Chick-fil-A.
fit into this? Yeah, and Chipotle. How do
Oh,
those fit into the mix?
let me ask you this. I'm curious, like, what's an on-course snack for you like? Because obviously, some days you play in the morning, some days in the afternoon, but like with your how strict your eating is, I'm very curious to know like what an on-course snack is like.
Yeah, so I make it pretty easy. So I'll just make enough. So whenever I get home from the course, whatever I have for dinner, I'll just make enough to where I'll have enough for the course the next day. So something easy to eat. Like on the road, I do a lot of ground meat. So I'll do ground beef or ground bison, something like that, and then just do pretty much baked sweet potatoes and cut them up real small, and then put in some sort of roasted vegetable that's just kind of easy to eat with a fork. And I travel with a couple Tupperware and put it in that and plop a fork in the bag and keep it in the fridge until we leave for the golf course, and then it's good pretty much throughout the day.
So no,
Damn, that's hard to do on the Korn Ferry. Like you're not staying in big cities where you can pop. Like you got to do it all yourself and cook. That's a lot of hours and probably a lot of money on that tour to stay disciplined to that.
Yeah, and I just figured over the course of the year I'm gonna feel better. So if I just put a little extra money towards kind of what I'm gonna eat, I mean, even if it just helps me think that it's making me play better, it's gonna help me. So it was kind of just something that I was willing to accept.